You see, if you just cut out the mindless action, the robots that don't look like each other or look like anything that you would know, the sexism, the upskirt shots, the random American flags, the racist robots, the ball jokes, the dick jokes, the piss jokes, just really poor tasting humor, you actually get a really good Transformers movie. What is going on, everybody, and happy holidays to one and all. This is your boy Will, and I am back to do my quick review of Bumblebee. This is not directed by Michael Bay. He is a producer, but producer credits mean about as much as you want to give him. This is directed by Travis Knight. This is his second directorial movie. His first one was Kubo and the Two Strings, and this is a really good movie just like that was. Bumblebee does serve as a soft reboot to the Transformers franchise that has been going on since about 2007 with the release of the first Transformers movie. Now, ever since then, every movie in the Transformers franchise has been directed by Michael Bay. This is the first one not directed by him, and you can quickly tell the difference between what Michael Bay has directed and what Travis Knight has done with this movie. This movie does star Bumblebee in a solo film where he meets a young girl named Charlie after he crashes on Earth with no memory of who he is and what his mission is. That's the general synopsis of the movie. I want to start off talking about the design of the characters. So, if you look at any of the previous Transformers movies up to this one, they slowly became undistinguishable from one another. Besides a touch of paint here and there, or the big ones like Optimus, everyone else looked like a bunch of random robot parts thrown together, and the only way that you knew who they were was by saying their name. In this movie, it starts off with you easily being able to tell who is who. There is a large battle at the beginning of the film. It does take place on Cybertron, and we get to see all the classic designs of the Transformers from the original animated series. So we got to see Optimus and Soundwave and Shockwave and Starscream without even their names having to really be said. Immediately when they came on screen, I could tell who was who, and there were some really good cameos from some classic Transformer characters in this movie, all within the first 10 minutes of the film. So it's a good way to introduce the character of Bumblebee and showing a little bit of his personality before he eventually loses his voice and crash lands on Earth, then being introduced to Charlie, played by Haley Steinfeld. It's really refreshing to see that Travis Knight took the classic designs of the characters and really made them pop and made them look the way that we remember them from all those years ago, which is one thing that over time with the original Transformers movies, they just started looking like whatever, and you could tell there wasn't any effort put into the designs going forward. In this movie, you can tell immediately off the bat. I really loved Haley Steinfeld's performance as Charlie. She plays I would say, co-lead along with Bumblebee. Her performance is fantastic. She literally has to act with nothing because Bumblebee is primarily a CG character, so her performance, her ability to resonate with Bumblebee throughout the film is great. I love the fact that they both parallel each other's journey. Without giving much away, she has gone through a great tragedy in her life, and she doesn't feel like she knows where she fits in, where she belongs in her new reality. The same with Bumblebee. He's crash landed on an alien planet. He's lost. He's scared. He doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know where he belongs. And the whole movie is the journey of these two individuals trying to find themselves with the backdrop of an intergalactic war between Autobots and Decepticons in the background and some military involvement. I loved how that played out throughout the movie because with the war being the backdrop, but the focus of the film being on just two characters trying to find themselves, it was so refreshing for a franchise that has gotten completely stale over the last 10 years. As a longtime fan of Transformers, especially the original Generation 1 and later on in life with Beast Wars and other iterations of the characters, it was refreshing to see someone take the reins of a failing franchise and really put a lot of heart and energy and relatable characters and make it all work together and make you really care at the end of the movie where these characters end up. It was good. There's not a lot of ways I can say it was good. It was just good. I went into this very apprehensive, very skeptical, but knowing that Travis Knight was the director and how much I like Kubo and the Two Strings, I was very much excited of what he would do with the franchise going forward. And being that this is a soft reboot where I don't think Michael Bay is coming back to the franchise as a director, he's directed the last 5, and every single one has diminished in quality since the first one. So this was a breath of fresh air for the franchise, and I was really happy about that. There is a military presence in the movie, and the main, I don't want to say, he wasn't a bad guy. He was played by John Cena, and he served as more of an antagonist than a villain. The villains obviously were the Decepticons, which unfortunately I don't remember hearing any of the names of the 3 that were on Earth that Bumblebee encounters throughout the movie. So I can't really say if they were anyone specifically from the lore, but they served their purpose, and they served their purpose well. The action in the movie looked great. And I say that because if you start looking at any of the previous Transformers movies since the first one, it became very hard to tell what was happening between who was hitting who or who was what and who was that. It was a lot of weird random shots. This one, there was a lovely one shot. I think you saw it in the trailer where Charlie's character is running and Bumblebee is fighting one of the Decepticons, and it was really nice because that one shot, it followed Charlie, but you could still distinguish Bumblebee from the Decepticon throughout the entire fight. There wasn't a lot of action. The action that was in the movie looked great, but it wasn't a lot of action, which some people might not like, but I actually enjoyed it because we've had so many movies where it was just action, 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 and we had a nice, even pace where it was really more so about Bumblebee and Charlie, and them trying to help each other and being there for each other and really being friends. It makes you feel at the end of the movie how their story culminates. It really was a feel-good moment where all the other movies, the human elements within the movies never truly worked out for me past the first movie. Once they started just throwing people in for comedy's sake, or whoever can make the dumbest joke or a slapstick comedy or degrading humor to women and racist robots. You didn't have that in this movie, and I loved it. There was humor, but the humor worked. It worked. It was entertaining. It was engaging. It felt organic, which a lot of the other films since the first Transformers stopped feeling organic, and then you were just questioning, why are these people here? Where this movie, it makes sense, and where it ends, it makes sense. This does tie in nicely with the first movie to a degree, but like I said, it's a soft reboot, the way that they set it up. And I can't stress how good the designs of the Autobots and Decepticons looked. They looked really good. And it's refreshing. It's nice to see. I was very pleasantly surprised with the movie. I was very happy with the movie. There wasn't a lot of negatives, I would say, except for maybe it should have came out at a different time of the year. There's so many movies that came out this weekend. We had Aquaman, Mary Poppins Returns. There was so much competition. I don't know how it's going to do overall in terms of how much money it's going to gross, which is a concern because I don't want them to not make a sequel or not continue with the franchise in this new direction. Like, don't go back to the old direction, because even though that one made millions of dollars, it started becoming bad. And the whole reason you did a reboot like this was because you knew critically and fan responses were tanking. You needed a new change. My hope is that people will go see this movie. Bumblebee is a fantastic movie. I think if you were jaded by any of the previous installments of the Transformers franchise, give this one a shot, because I really think this is the start of something new. and something that we have been waiting for as fans. And I haven't said this in 10 years. I'm excited to see another Transformers movie as long as the direction is going this route. Yeah, it's a really good movie. I highly recommend going to see it. So that is my review of Bumblebee. Have you seen it? If you have, did you enjoy it, or are you indifferent about it? Comment down below, let me know what you guys thought, and thank you so much for watching this video. I hope everyone has a happy holiday, and I will be back soon with another review, reaction, discussion. I've got a couple ideas coming out toward the end of the year, and I hope you check those out. Till next time, catch you later.